Hey everyone, it's Emily, and today's video is super exciting because this video is brought to you by EA Game Changers. I was given early access to the new pack, Snowy Escape. I'm hyped about it. I think we've all been wanting a mountain world in this game for a while, a snowy mountain world, and our request has finally been answered, and you guys will be able to play with it super soon, in just a few days. If you're watching this in the future, you might already have it. I don't know. But I built this house on the one empty lot in the world, and the reason I did this is because, as a lot of you probably already know if you watch a lot of Sims YouTubers and speed builds and stuff, they had some of the Game Changers build the houses in this pack, which is super awesome, and I felt way too bad to, for my first build, delete one of their amazing houses already and build my own. So I took the one empty lot in the world and decided to work with that. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I tried so many things with this and ended up deleting them, but I ended up with this. I was gonna make like a 2-story house, but I felt like it was way too big for this tiny lot. This isn't exactly a starter house, but I imagine this is a starter house for someone who doesn't mind using money cheats. That was my intention, because it's not starter home affordability, but it's like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. You could have 2 Sims live here, but I have the bed pushed up against the wall, so it's really only for 1 Sim. Yeah, so I was imagining a single Sim that's into skiing or snowboarding. I put skis in this house, but you can swap them out. That's who lives here. I'm just so excited about it. I don't completely know how to use all of the items in this pack yet, so I feel like I went very minimalist on this build for my usual tendency to clutter everything. Now, there is quite a bit of clutter, but it's in places that make sense, not just like everywhere. Usually I tend to clutter up like every single little space, but in this build I feel like I was a little bit more reserved with it just because I'm not completely used to this style of house and I didn't want to mess something up. So I just embraced the minimalism, and I am still happy with how it turned out. I think the next thing I want to build is going to be on the mountain somewhere, but like I said, all those lots were filled and I didn't want to delete anyone's houses for my first build, so I'm pretty happy with this. I think this was a good place to start for me. I didn't restrict myself to any packs on this, I just used whatever I wanted, but I think the next build that I'm going to do, because it's going to be like up on the mountain on one of those rental lots by the onsen, and I don't know if there's like not like a lodge, but there has to be some sort of place where you like ski and snowboard and stuff. I haven't played with the pack at all. I literally just got the game and started building this house. I haven't looked at any gameplay. I haven't been watching any streams or anything of it. So some of you watching this probably know more about this pack than I do. But yeah, I think the next thing I want to build is going to be a little bit of a limited pack house. And I think I'm just gonna go totally modern. I'm gonna use obviously Snowy Escape because duh. And I was thinking Spa Day and Cool Kitchen would go well with this pack. I like restricting myself to an expansion pack, a game pack, and a stuff pack every now and then, because the stuff packs just have so many good clutter items that I love using, but I know that not everyone has every single stuff pack, and I do tend to use like one item from every pack in a lot of my builds, and I feel like it just gets confusing because on the gallery it'll say that I use something from like Moschino stuff, but I literally just used the stack of magazines. I did that in this house, and when I was watching back the footage, I was so frustrated with myself because I think that's the only item I used from that pack, so it's so not necessary to have that pack, but then on the gallery it's going to mark it as having all these different packs even though the items aren't super necessary. I don't know, I feel like it's a shame if people filter stuff by packs and then they just will never see the house because I used one little magazine that I thought was cute. I mentioned this in my last build, but one issue I have, or maybe my one before the last one, the Star Wars pack, I will never use so many of the build items, but there's a lot of these little I don't know if they're statues, but they're like little decorative items that look pretty cool in a lot of different places. And I have such mixed feelings about using these Star Wars items because I know so few people have the pack, but they look good to just take up space in the house. And I don't know if it's even worth it for me to use it just for the sake of decorating, or if I should just completely try to avoid the pack so that more people, like it makes the build more accessible. I don't know. I have this internal conflict with using lesser purchased packs. This is the point in the build where I absolutely lost my mind because I saw these new counters that we got, and like I said, I haven't been watching anything. I watched like the first trailer of the game, but I didn't pay that much attention to it. I watched the gameplay trailer, but I wasn't like scanning through it, looking at every little detail. I was just kind of getting an overview of what the pack is about. I haven't watched anyone else's videos except I did watch one of Kayla's videos of the houses that she built, but other than that, I haven't seen a ton, and I wasn't super paying attention to all the nuances of building with this pack, so I lost my mind when I realized that we could put stuff on the shelves on those counters, because I was like, I wish they gave us a variation where there was clutter on these shelves, because it looks very plain and bland, and then I realized we can do it ourselves, and I have never... I think maybe I have been more pleased, but I was so pleased that the Sims team actually allowed us to do something like that, because I feel like it's always one of those requests when they give us some sort of shelving that has stuff already on it, and it's like, why can't we just put our own stuff on it, or why can't we use the items that are on this shelf in other places? Like, why do they have to be attached to the shelf? And they did give us some wall shelving that has stuff attached to it that we can't use anywhere else, but beggars can't be choosers. We're gonna be happy that we can clutter the kitchen counters however we want. I'm excited about that. There was something else that I had a thought about when I was building with this that I wanted to share, and now it's left my brain. Maybe it'll come back later. Oh, it was the platforms. So that's the other thing. I've been seeing like all these videos of people talking about the platforms, and I haven't built in The Sims since before the update where we got platforms and stuff, so I didn't really know how they worked, and I cut out a huge section of this video where I was just trying to figure it out and failing. Usually I would leave something like that in if I felt like it would be helpful, but I feel like I was struggling so much it would have just been confusing to watch, and I don't think would have taught anyone how to build with platforms, so I cut it out, but in future videos, now that I think I have an idea of how to do it, I'll probably leave it in so you guys can see how I do the different like split leveling and stuff. I also didn't do that much of it in this house, just by the entrance, and the entrance is more on a raised platform, and then you go down into the living area and the kitchen, and then on the other side of the entrance you go down into this little, it's not really a hallway, but it's just where there's the door to the bedroom and the bathroom and the toilet room. Another thing I did in this house that I saw in the few builds that I watched that some of the other game changers did is that they always had the toilet room separate from the bathroom, and I know that was like a request that the Sims team had when they were building those houses for the pack, so I wanted to make sure that this house kind of fit similar guidelines, and I did not have time to completely like do my research as far as traditional like Japanese architecture and stuff, so the information that I did have available to me I wanted to like take into consideration, I guess, and something that I want to do a little bit more of maybe like over the next week so that I can do a more traditional house in the other neighborhood. This is in like the modern neighborhood in the new world, but I want to do a more traditional house. I just need to research more about the architecture because I don't want to claim that I'm making a traditional Japanese house and then have it be totally wrong. So if any of you guys who are watching this know anything about Japanese architecture and want to leave me some tips in the comments, I would absolutely love that, especially if you have like firsthand experience, because I do not, and I am eager to learn so that I can make a more accurate representation. This house was kind of a combination of some stuff I had seen on Pinterest and Google Images of Japanese houses, and I noticed that some of the more modern ones looked a little bit like a mid-century modern style, so I kind of incorporated that in the exterior of this house, and then I just kind of like when in doubt went more minimalist and when in extra doubt when the minimalism wasn't quite doing it, I just threw in some plants because that's my go-to for decor, is throw in some plants, it'll be fine. I actually really love this bedroom. I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but whenever I build in The Sims, I'm pretty much building some version of my dream house, so I think this would be like my dream house fitting this style and like the items that we were given in the new pack, because I would absolutely love this bedroom. I wouldn't normally have put a fireplace in the bedroom, but because in kind of the exterior house that I was using in my reference image, there was a little chimney on that part of the house, I was like, why not? We have a new fireplace in this pack. I have this nice little nook in the bedroom that originally I was going to use for like a bookshelf or something, but I already put a bookshelf in the entryway to kind of divide the space between the living room. So I decided to throw the new fireplace in the bedroom, make a nice little cozy seating area. I wanted to put some sort of skill building item in here, but I also wanted to use something from the new pack, so I just put a pair of skis on the ground. I don't really like how it looks, but I think it makes sense for the house. I wish there was a way to hang skis and snowboards on the wall. I was trying to see if it would like somehow snap to the wall, but it didn't. So I think that would have been cool. Regardless, I'm super excited about this pack, and I am going to be playing with it live on Twitch this Friday, November 13th. I believe that's also a release day, so anyone who gets the pack, come hang out, play it with me. I'm going to be doing gameplay stuff on Twitch at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, friends.